Good afternoon, everyone. This is Justin Stivers, owner of the probate law firm here. Very excited about my guest this week, Miss Paula Black. Paula works with attorneys and really kind of helps them find their potential, and I'm very excited to share with you what she has to say. I've had the opportunity to work with her, and she's fantastic. So Paula, thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. So maybe just to start, tell us a little bit about yourself and the type of work you do.
Well, I coach lawyers, and I started doing it probably about 15 years ago. I had a branding and positioning firm and did a lot of marketing for the legal profession. And I soon realized that I really loved working with lawyers. I like working with ambitious, smart people. And you're ambitious and smart.
Thank you.
So,
yeah.
I've written 6 books, and I love doing it.
Yeah.
I love coaching one-on-one, and I'm about ready to launch an online coaching program early January.
What kind of drew you to the legal field?
I think because it's an industry that has not been marketing for very long. And any other industry we can look at, they've been doing it for hundreds of years. And the legal profession, it just happened like a nanosecond ago.
Sure.
And when I decided to focus on the legal profession, I realized that I could help. I had no idea if it was going to resonate with lawyers, but it does. And there's a group of lawyers that poo, it's, we shouldn't be marketing anyway. And I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the people who really want to promote their practice. They want to make a really fabulous living and a lifestyle living, not just bring in the bucks and bill the hours on a treadmill, but they want more out of their profession and what they do every day.
So who is kind of your the typical lawyer that you work with?
My sweet spot are solo lawyers.
Okay.
And I think because
attorneys, just one attorney in a law firm, or
1 or 3,
okay.
A small firm, because at heart you're also an entrepreneur.
Sure.
I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years, and I know what it's like to need that input. How do you run this? How do you do this? And how do you hire? And how do you manage your time?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really very focused on helping them run their practice, their business, and their lives, and pull it all together.
You mentioned marketing. Is that one of the main components of the type of thing you do with attorneys?
Sure, because it's my background and what I've been doing for more years than I want to admit.
Yeah.
And so of course that's always part of it, and it really sort of permeates everything that we do. So we're thinking about a strategy to, let's say, participate in a bar association. Well, what's this marketing strategy for that? Mm-hmm. Is it just because you want to give back? I bet there are other things that you can do to give back. So let's look at how you're going to create referral sources. Let's create a strategy and know what you want to do down the road. Maybe it's leadership. Maybe there's all kinds of different things that you want to do with it.
Do you see, because I know when I came to you and we started working together, it was pretty brand new when I had just started a practice. Mm-hmm. Is that where you see people coming to you, or do you see people maybe later down in their career, either at a big firm wanting to start their own practice, or is there any, I don't know, when do people come to you most, do you think?
All of the above.
Okay.
All of the above.
Okay.
Some have come to me before they left their job, for instance, somebody who was with the IRS, and we really created the foundation so that when she was leaving the IRS, she knew exactly what she needed to do.
Okay.
And then there are others that are in their late 50s and 60s who realize they gotta work for another 10, 15 years because of the way the economy has been over the past decade. So it depends on where you are in your practice and where you are in your life. Are you happy where you are? Are you wringing every ounce of life out of it? Or are you feeling trapped? And if you're feeling trapped, there's a way out of that.
That's a good point. That kind of conversation came up with someone earlier, where I think a lot of viewers out there are attorneys, and I know a common conversation is, you ask someone, do you like being an attorney? And it's like, most people say no. A lot of people, feel kind of stuck in the profession. Do you think that's, a combination or because of the type of law they're doing, the type of firm they're in, maybe probably somewhat just internally, some personal stuff going on, but in your work, do you see any commonalities as to why, I guess, attorneys have such a just disdain for the profession that they're in?
I think that question gets answered by the frustration of their circumstances, not because of the practice of law. Because if you get into an area that you really like, and most likely the reason you went to law school, and you're interacting with the kinds of clients you like, that's a whole different ballgame. But if you're forced to do something that you really don't like, and you're trapped by the money that a big firm entices you with, or you just don't like the confrontation.
Right.
Because there are some lawyers that they really just don't even like the confrontation. So why are you in litigation? Let's figure out another way to be.
Sure. That
it's less confrontational, or that you don't like the kinds of clients you're working with. So when people say I don't like the practice of law, it's they don't like the circumstances.
Is it hard for them to admit that?
Yeah, a little bit. I have people come to see me so often and say, oh, I just want to leave it. I want to open a bed and breakfast. Really?
Right.
Really? To make muffins and beds? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And so getting at the core of what is really driving that dissatisfaction, that's really what's important. Because it's generally something in the way things are. You don't like business development. And some people think the only way that you do business development is be an extrovert and be out there,
right,
shaking hands and chasing ambulances.
Sure.
But that's not necessarily what has to happen. There are plenty of people that can develop business without having an extrovert, type personality, and creating expertise and deciding who really is your market. Is it the end user of your services? Are you an expert that can come in to a team and you be the expert in that little slice of the practice?
Mm-hmm.
That can work too.
So do you see one, or maybe just what are some of the, because I know, again, I think that message probably resonates with a lot of people out there, but they're probably hesitant to either make the jump to go start their own practice, or they're maybe have been practicing and just feel it is the way it is, this is the way it's done. So how do you kind of make them see that there is a better way? Because I know in going to bar events and going to, just my own circle, sometimes it's really hard to when I say the things I do, and when I hear their stories, it's almost like they just think that's not possible, or what. So how do you get them to see that there's a better way, or another way at least?
I think it's probably knowing that others have done it.
Yeah.
If you're really not ready to embrace that there could be another way, if you are really resigned to the fact that this is the hell you're in,
Sure.
then I can't help you.
Yeah.
However, if you are ready to see that there is another way, and I can tell you lots of stories of people who have done it, and I can tell you lots of stories of the success that people experience, and that you don't have to do it the prescribed legal industry way of doing it.
Right.
And if you're open-minded and say, okay, I'll try it, I'll figure out what it could be.
Yeah.
We can do that together. But if you're closed-minded and you think there's only another way, and you really want to make muffins in beds, then
Right,
have
go for
a
it.
bed and breakfast, right?
Yeah. Is there one or maybe two challenges that you see are kind of resonate with a lot of your clients? Is there some sort of commonality between them?
Absolutely. There are four areas actually, and this is what's going to be part of my online coaching program. One is prioritizing time, figuring out what to do and when to do it, and prioritizing the things in your life. The other thing is money, invoicing and collecting, and figuring out what cash flow should look like. Business development. There's not a formula for business development. And then, how do you be happy? How should it all fit into your life so that you get to do the things that you really want?
Yeah. And of those, what do you think your kind of strength is as far as helping people work through those? All four of them. You write a book about it. So.
Right. Actually, it's the happiness part combined with the business development part, and that there's no one way to do something. And I experienced it myself in putting my family off to the side because I was working, because I got a new client, because I have to go to New York with the New York Times, and that's really important. When I realized that my mother's 80 years old, and how much longer am I going to have, and
Sure.
how many more excuses?
Yeah.
And